Good morning everyone and welcome back to the Two-Headed Wolf Gaming channel as we are about to continue our gameplay through Warhammer 40k Darktide, and it's still in pre-order beta test. Until the release day we are going to continue playing the Zealot Preacher, mostly showing up some of the features, some of the missions, without spoiling too much from the campaign and all that. And on the 30th or on the release date, maybe a bit later depending on how I can record this, I will be starting a brand new character and we are going to make progress through the entire campaign. I'm not sure if campaign is the right word for it, but there we go. So last time we did one of these relay station missions. Let's go and pick another mission now. Let's see, do we have anything of rank 3? We have here, and I'll pick one with less enemies just to give us a chance to see the surroundings a bit more and be a bit more calm. And speaking of myself, of course. And we have a warlord is arriving by train. Make your way into the chasm terminus and execute the heretic. Before I do that, I will be changing one of the weapons today. We're gonna try out the heavy eviscerator, which is like this huge chainsaw sword, which I wanna play with. A small piece of advice: if you have two weapons that you like, for example, a heavy las pistol and the axe, and you want to try out a new weapon, do not change both of your weapons. Do not go with a heavy eviscerator and a flamer if you've never played with them before, because you might hate both of those weapons and they might not work. You might not know how to play them well together. So have at least one item that you can rely on in the future. Just a note of a piece of advice for you. I've changed both weapons many times, I think about twice, and I hated every second of the round, but I had to go till the end, right? You want to support the people you've joined with and make sure that you are completing the mission. Plus you are getting some experience, you are getting a bunch of stuff from it, and thus you want to continue playing with it. I am still very excited.
The heretics have Tertium's railroad under lockdown. Almost, anyway. Cross Ascension Bridge, interface with the auto-scheduler, and redirect the Sanction Redactor's target's train. You'll intercept him at Chasm Terminus. And by intercept, I of course mean eliminate.
Cool. Let's jump into this. You can see the chainsaw.
They will do their duty, as will we all, one way or another.
The sword has a bit of a different attack. You can see that we attack from the top first and then from the side, which makes it slightly more difficult to take down some of the targets. If I use my special attack, so to speak, we charge up the chainsaw, which can be very useful against heavy armored enemies. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's try to rush these shotgunners. We have a few more enemies there. I'll try to take this terrain here just to avoid some of the fire. We have more players joining us. Lost a bunch of life there, but we should be fine. I'm still trying to get used to this chainsword. Maybe I should just stagger them, like push them back first before I do anything else. There are multiple versions of the chainsaw, like there's this heavy one that I have now, and there's a smaller one as well. A buster, okay, so an exploding guy. You can hear him. Hotter, hotter. There's some materials here. Oof. One of these guys. I do like the fact that you can dodge most of the attacks. When you run, your stamina goes down. Now, when your stamina runs out, you can still sprint at the same speed, so it does help in a way, but what happens is that you can get staggered if you're out of stamina. Let's see, does this work better? Like if I charge the attack, yeah, I can go from side to side if I do that. I hear a hound. Let's see if I can stun some of them while we take down the enemy. It's a bit difficult when you have enemies targeting you from a distance. Let me charge up this chainsaw.
Don't fall, Shucky.
You've seen too much blood. So much blood? How can you still stand?
He fell here. Oof.
No more noise from that rager.
Okay.
Cover me while I reload!
You know what? Let's rush him. Good. Now there was a healing station somewhere. Don't know if they fixed it. It doesn't seem like the power source is still there. I guess we'll just have to go forward. Try to find another healing station later on. No point in sitting still. Once again, you are taking attrition. The more you sit in one place, the more enemies will be thrown at you, right?
Nothing good comes of treating with Xenos, Kendred. Nothing!
That's the supply point. Sending data interrogators to access the auto scheduler.
Okay, here is a healing station, so let's take it. Let's take a med kit. Oof. Have a few enemies that lined up. These guys are really tough in melee. I mean, this sword is fairly cool, but I definitely like my... Let's charge the... Whenever I'm trying to say something, very quickly something changes. Like when I want to talk about the enemy dies. It's a bit hard to explain everything when that happens. But I definitely like the axe a bit more, for me personally. Once again, this game is about trying the weapons out and figure out what you like to play the most with. Here we're gonna wait, we're gonna have to protect this until the bar at the top right will fill itself. But every once in a while, this will give us a warning. Basically, we will have to go and play a small mini game, which is not difficult at all, but it's very difficult to do it while you're getting attacked. If you get attacked, you get disrupted, so you're hoping that your teammates will protect you. Here is the mini game. You just click when you have it light up. Cool. Our teammates has protected us here. That's really good. That's teamwork. I hear a flamer somewhere. Okay. Let's see, someone has to do the minigame here. We'll try it once again ourselves. Ah, we got attacked, so we got disrupted. Ah. There we go. So yeah, I like the fact that the game is not complicated. I mean, it didn't need we didn't need it to be complicated. It's mostly what we need from it is to be annoying, right? To distract you, just enough that you don't pay attention and you take damage. And it's forcing your teammates to protect you.
No praise. Duty is its own reward. Everything happens. Come and face your death.
I hear a hound. Let's go forward here.
We don't have long until the train arrives.
Blinded by their sin, we shall strike from shadow.
It's good that I had a teammate nearby. He saved me from it.
It's time for holy vengeance.
Cool. What is that? That's another one of those rushes. Okay, we'll activate this and we're gonna try to take this armor down. Nice.
I shall smite you!
Nice.
From that rager.
Oof. Beautiful stuff. Apparently that chainsaw, like this charged up attack, is really good against armored targets. You can test weapons out as well. I'm gonna show you after the mission how to do it. It's not that much of a secret. Another hound is coming around.
Ranger!
There's a mutant coming in as well. Okay, here come both of them. Actually, it's two dogs. Two dogs and a mutant and a rager here. Nice. The game will throw, if your party is doing well, the game will throw at you more enemies, like it's really trying to challenge you. I feel like it's the same mechanics as in past games. And if you're not doing so well, they're gonna try to sometimes manage you. I'm sure there's some sort of AI thinking behind, like what to spawn, when to spawn. If there are enemies or allies that are alone, they will try to trick you. And sometimes you can get really bad rolls within missions, and thus you'll have to repeat them just because you got wrecked maybe early on into the mission or something. There's a med center here.
My holy cannon.
Grenade!
Let's see. Come on. Once we go down here, we can't go back anymore, so that's why I'm waiting for him. So he doesn't get captured and we be unable to save him. Yeah, the sword goes through enemies and has quite good damage. Probably could upgrade it a few more levels and make it really useful.
Vermintide station. There, a bomber. The bomber will trouble us no more.
Nice. But I prefer the axe. For me personally, I feel like that axe, that type of axe, not all types of axes, but the one that I've used last time, is my weapon of choice. It has everything I need from it.
Something bothers me about the interrogator. I fear he be lacking in faith.
Sure. Bad luck, Mercedes.
If he strays from the path of fate, I fear he will take us with him.
My captain!
The beneficent Emperor requires your service, Guardian.
Faith lifts the faithful, aye? Holy jewel!
Pusher!
This is the wrong side of the station.
Behold, another slain ranger!
Okay, so 2 attacks to do this. Definitely need a bit more damage. But at the same time, it's not super challenging, the 3rd difficulty. I should probably start thinking about going one more level into difficulty, learn that. Now if I go to lower difficulties at this point, because I've learned to play this game quite well, at least for, you know, gaining some experience at least. We're getting a horde here, let's see. Most of our allies are up here, so we're just gonna work with the team here.
Pleasure to watch you, you leader,
Oof. Try to throw a grenade there. Let's see what we can do.
Emperor, guide my hand!
Such craziness. Good, and there's another gunner here. I feel like I should be healing my team. Oof.
I am called judgment.
But maybe we can pull off just a bit longer to have the med pack in the final level, or at the final step of this level, when we are fighting the boss.
You're not the heretic kindred.
Cheer up. This is the fun part.
Take courage, pilgrims. It is time for righteous slaughter.
Yeah, we have a med center here. That's good.
Vermintide station.
Ammo crate.
Let's heal. We'll take the grenades.
Sucker for flesh and bone.
Let's refill our weapons and armor.
Go there.
Cool. Time to take down the boss. Got attacked by a few special enemies just as we got out of the elevator.
Your soul is mine for the claiming.
Time to rush the boss. Seems like fighting him in melee at this difficulty at least works really well. You can take down a lot of his defenses. He brings his shield up every time he takes some damage, but he's also going to get aided by other characters here. So we have to be careful. Throw a med kit on the ground. You can see that we've taken a lot of his health. There it is. So we've defeated him. This is why I'm saying that at least at this difficulty we can rush him in melee a little bit, but we also have like this super support from the Ogre. GG. We found a infantry las gun, which we can test it out just to see. And I'll show you this. We're going now to the training center. I will show you how that works. And yeah, we'll call it a day. I'm really hoping that you'll like this game. I mean, I have avoided Vermintide for a very long time. Somehow it didn't appeal to me, like the way it looked and all that. And on a Steam sale, I bought the game. And I spent, even in that game, I love the banter, the storytelling that they do through banters and through these things, and the type of weapons that you get. Every one of them feels very different. You're taking on mobs of enemy, which just gets you into that story. And even when you fail, you're like feeling, that was so close. So we're going here in the mid grinder. You check the difficulty. The difficulty will just improve the stats or give the enemy the stats that you might find in that level, so you can see whether your weapon will be effective enough to do the damage that you want or not. You can change your operatives, you can change like the different weapons and armors, and look at this. So we have the chainsword, right? We can see if we charge it up, what damage will it do? Or when we do like this type of normal attacks. You can see that when we attack from the top, it is a critical hit, right? It's giving us the most damage from doing that. Attacking squishy enemy, we can just mow through them. It's very easy. But if we were to go to tougher targets, right, like something like this, it doesn't have the same impact anymore, right? Every character has their own mass, and thus you have to figure out like what is the best way to attack with this. You can see that we're barely doing damage like this to this armor target. What if we wind up the chainsaw? Now it's starting to do some damage, right? Let's see, if we hit the head while doing that, we get all of those crits. So you want to play to your ability. And let's see, if we go over here and we change this to the axe, let's change it to the axe. And also let's try this infantry las gun. Right, we start with this one. You can see that I am not doing a huge amount of damage, but wherever I am hitting, I am getting more damage than I've done before. And a bit more crits. I think the orange means that we've hit a critical point, and the yellow means that we've actually done a critical hit. So this is why I like this a bit more, the axe, because it has the armor piercing statistic to it, means that I go for armor and thus I'm doing damage to the enemies no matter from where I'm attacking. So that's what I like about that. And then we have now the las gun. can see how it fires. Really kills. Like, look at that. The squishier enemies, we're taking them down so quickly. The ones that are a bit tougher takes a few shots. But we're still doing quite well, all things considered. Let's see, to a hound, what would be the damage? Oh, quite good. As alternate attacks, it just has a flashlight. And that's about it. So you come here, you test out your weapons, it even shows you how much DPS you are doing, and that is good. For people who like statistics, who want to try it out, it's a useful tool. I'm sure many of you want to see these numbers and figure out which ones is better against what. With that in mind, I hope you have enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow, as we are gonna continue our playthrough or our testing of Warhammer 40k Darktide. Until then, I wish you all to have a wonderful day.